Just when we thought we'd heard it all, Daddy Dave drops a bombshell that could flip the entire Street Outlaws world on its head. Buckle up, because what he just revealed isn't just surprising, it's downright bad. Daddy Dave has finally broken his silence, and his words are shaking Oklahoma's racing scene to its core. But what exactly did he confess? How could a single statement threaten decades of rivalries, and even future races? And, most importantly, why did he stay quiet for so long? In the next few minutes, we'll unpack the jaw-dropping admission, trace the hidden clues everyone missed, and ask the one question nobody else dares. Is this the beginning of the end for Daddy Dave, or the start of his greatest comeback yet? Stick around, because every answer raises a bigger, louder question. To understand this bombshell, we've got to rewind to the first spark that lit Dave's fuse. Daddy Dave. The name alone brings up images of roaring engines, a Chevy Nova tearing up the streets, and asphalt jungles in Oklahoma City. David Comstock has earned his status as a street racing legend by being a key member of Street Outlaws. However, Dave has a side that isn't shown on highlight reels, despite the burnouts and attention, from his surprising pastimes to long-forgotten conflicts and small deeds of generosity. Let's begin with Daddy Dave, the moniker that best describes him. Supporters believe it to be a sign of his power, as if he were the street king. Daddy Dave, I hear those old veterans laughing and the sound of my turbo spooling up to answer them every time someone says, Daddy Dave, the statement read. The true tale, it began as a joke. In Shawnee, Oklahoma, in the late 1990s, a teenage Dave was working hard and competing against seasoned veterans in a race against rusty muscle cars. Older racers noticed his unrelenting energy as he showed up at every meet and wrenched until dawn. They began jokingly referring to him as Daddy in an attempt to make fun of his arrogant, know-it-all demeanor. At first, Dave wasn't overly excited. He chuckled about pleading with his friends to drop it in a 2014 podcast, fearing it would make him seem like a would-be pimp. However, the moniker stuck, and producers recognized the swagger of Street Outlaws when they became popular in 2013. Dave's ability to transform a joke into a brand is incredible. Dave was a motorcycle monster long before Goliath had twin turbos. He had an obsession with sport bikes in his early 20s, particularly a Kawasaki Ninja that he customized with custom paint and aftermarket pipes. He would race friends or simply push the bike to its limits, popping wheelies and avoiding police on Oklahoma's back roads, which served as his playground. These were just unstructured, careless occasions. Dave's racing DNA was shaped by riding in ways that fans rarely learn about. He developed his reflexes by handling a bike at 120 miles per hour, which helped him later master challenging no-prep tracks. On his YouTube channel, he has hinted that his passion for motorcycles has taught him to feel a car's balance, a skill he uses when adjusting his own vehicles. Why did he quit then? He was shaken by a close call with a pickup truck while out for a late-night run. He never turned back after selling the Ninja and switching to cars. However, a dusty helmet from his rebellious days is still in his shop. Although Dave's Chevy Nova is well known, he also built a 1989 Ford Mustang LX that has never been seen on a racetrack. During a respite from street racing in the mid-2000s, Dave invested heavily in a notchback Mustang. He modified it in his garage for a year after installing a 347 stroker engine and adding a nitrous kit. The intention was to surprise the Chevy-dominated ranks by bringing it to Oklahoma City's street scene. Life had other ideas. Due to a challenging year at Comstock Auto Service and the arrival of his second daughter, Dave was unable to complete the build. For pennies on the dollar, he sold the Mustang to a nearby racer. The vehicle is still in existence and is currently on display in a collector's garage. Although Dave has never discussed it on camera, a friend revealed that he still looks through internet forums to see if it's for sale. A ghost car that haunts the man who could have made it a legend is a rare what-if in a career characterized by bold decisions. On the track, Dave is a killer, but he has a soft spot for beginners. Consider Sarah "Sissy" Thompson, a young racer from Oklahoma who attracted Dave's attention in 2017. At the age of 19, Sissy barely made it through local meets while racing a rusty Camaro with a blown head gasket. Seeing her potential, Dave took her under his wing and spent weekends teaching her how to read spark plugs and set up a carburetor. To give her a feel for powerful horsepower, he even allowed her to take a test drive in one of his older vehicles. Now that she frequently attends no-prep events, Sissy is quick to attribute her success to Dave. In 2020, he assisted a group of high school students in rebuilding a junkyard Chevelle for a local drag race, demonstrating his willingness to do the same for others. Dave doesn't flaunt it on Street Outlaws or post about it. His mentoring isn't about getting attention. He is a man who wants to give back because he understands what it's like to start with nothing. Younger racers refer to him behind his back as Coach Dave because of his quiet leadership. Daddy Dave is a quiet master of barbecuing. Away from the racetrack, he spends Sundays honing his brisket and ribs in his backyard smoker. It began as a means of relaxation following races, but it has since grown into a true passion. He has a cult following among racers and friends and has modified his own rub recipe, which is primarily made with brown sugar and smoked paprika. Murder Nova joked that the pulled pork he brought to the OKC crew at a 2019 No Prep Kings event was superior to his racing. To get away with it, he entered a local BBQ cook-off in 2021 using a fictitious name. Although he lost, his ribs received a high flavor rating. His Instagram followers may have noticed infrequent pictures of him operating the smoker with dad joke captions like "low and slow, just like my launches." Dave's wholesome side demonstrates that he is more than just a man of hustle and horsepower. Although Street Outlaws enjoys rivalries, one of Dave's most heated arguments was never broadcast on television. Dave had a fierce rivalry with Ronnie "The Reaper" Phelps, a racer from Tulsa, in the early 2000s before Discovery approached him. Ronnie had a grudge against OKC's dominance and drove a nitrous-fed GTO. At underground races, the two got into a fight, exchanging victories and insults. When Ronnie accused Dave of using an illegal fuel additive to cheat, things became personal. Although Dave laughed off the accusation, he never forgot it. When Ronnie retired, the feud ended, but it had a lasting impact. In passing, Dave stated that the Tulsa races forced him to step up his game and delve deeper into engine tuning. Threads about Daddy versus Reaper, complete with grainy videos of their fights, may be discovered by fans searching through vintage racing forums. Every race was a struggle for respect in Dave's pre-fame life, and this is a grim glimpse of that time. Dave has a great heart for his community, but he isn't one for big gestures. In order to raise money for Oklahoma's homeless shelters, he has been hosting small charity car meets at Comstock Auto Service since 2019. There are only a few dozen cars, some burgers, and Dave raffling off shop time to fix locals' rides at these unglamorous events. Inspired by the hardships his own mother faced when he was a child, he raised $8,000 in 2023 for a shelter that assisted single mothers. Additionally, he frequently shows up with his daughters to drop off gifts at Toys for Tots drives. At an event in 2021, a fan once saw him silently unloading a truck full of dolls and bikes, without any cameras nearby. Dave prefers to let the work do the talking, though his wife Cassie has posted tidbits about it on social media. This aspect of Daddy Dave serves as a reminder that he is aiming for something greater, rather than just fame. Without at least 3 cups of black coffee before noon, according to his friends, he is useless. In addition to being picky about his beans and swearing by a local Shawnee roaster, he has a beat-up Keurig in his shop that has seen more use than some of his equipment. He has been known to drink cold brew straight from a thermos during long race weekends, joking that it's his other nitrous. Even a mini tradition was born out of this caffeine obsession. In order to get Dave high on caffeine before a race, his crew started a game at No Prep Kings events where they hide a coffee mug in his trailer. Although it's a ridiculous custom, it keeps the team cohesive. Dave is relatable because of his love of coffee, a small human detail that serves as a reminder that even legends require a wake-up call to continue. Dave has his sights set on the Outlaw 32 series, a brand new big tire championship with $40,000 purses and an unadulterated vintage feel as 2025 heats up. On YouTube, he has been teasing a mystery build, implying that it is a car that is not a Nova, but is nonetheless pure Daddy Dave. There is a lot of speculation that it might be a Camaro or even a return to his Mustang roots. Dave is prepared to face heavyweights like Ryan Martin and Kai Kelly, no matter what.